Hi friends, it's Becky and I'm sharing a little haul video. It's actually 3 separate orders from Bead Box Bargains. That is the sister site for Bargain Bead Box, where they usually have closeout prices on gemstones, on pearls, on check glass, on pendants, on findings, all of the fun things that you can get from them. As a subscriber to Bargain Bead Box, you always get a 30% off coupon that you can use at that site. So you can get some really, really good deals. And January, they've been having some really good deals. There was a New Year's sale that I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I got with you on that. Jenny already did a haul with her New Year's sale videos. So I've got some things that were either different than what she ordered or things that I was particularly excited about. So I'm not sharing the whole thing from that one. Then my sister decided to have a chance to spoil me, and she ordered me some really cool pendants. And so I'll be sharing the pendants that she got. And then there were some things that I wanted for myself that I'm also going to be sharing from that one too. So let me get this stuff organized. We're going to go through my New Year's Day sale, then we'll go through the pendants that Jenny sent me, and then some of the other things that I got for myself. And at the end of this, I'm going to choose some of these beads to do a little design on the fly with, because that's what we're doing every time we open something here on our channel. So let me get these organized and I will be right back. All right, so for the New Year's Day sale that they had, Jenny already shared a lot of things that they had on in the sale. We both went a little gemstone heavy, but here's some of the things that were a little different from mine. I grabbed these ombre crystals, and I got 2 of them. And let me just show you these. That's the product number, Chris 511, and I just really love that beautiful little transition from the bright, sunshiny, light yellow to this happy pink that we got with these. So I got 2 strands of this. They're just really, really pretty little things. I didn't get as many random picks as Jenny did. The only one was these pearls, and I got 2 of them. But there were some really fun things that they had in that sale that I just absolutely had to have. So while I do have a lot of strands of the gemstones, a lot of those are ones that Jenny already got. But look at these. Aren't they beautiful? I don't know if you can see it with that background. Let me get a dark background, actually. Here we go. It's one of my glasses cleaning cloths. So you can see the dandelion seeds that have been caught in that glass. So I got actually several of these little pendants. They are beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous. I got 2 orders of them. They're the Find 5327. And again, I got 2 of those. So that was another fun thing that I got that Jenny didn't get, but that's all right. Another super, super cute fun thing was just a bag of tassels. Like, just a tassel charms mix and this bright rainbow. It was, you know, on sale, so it was fairly cheap, but there are just some really, really fun colors in here. You've got these peach ones, you've got the pink ones, you've got some purple, blue, and like light green, like kind of a minty green. That would go really well, I think, with some Amazonite. Honestly, they're just really great. I love tassels, so just being able to get a little bag of tassels is fantastic for me to add to my stash. And that was that was a really fun. Maybe I'll use my tassels in my design on the fly. We don't know yet. I don't know what I'm making yet. I have not decided. I'm hoping to get inspired by some of the things that I'm sharing. So they did have some random pick things. I got a lot of random picks in a previous order, so I wasn't you know, going down through, and I love a good random pick. But one of the things that was the random pick was 3 strands of freshwater pearls. And so these are fairly decently sized strands. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and I ordered 2 of them since they were random. So these are kind of larger, more potato size. These are a little more irregular. These ones look like they're more side drilled instead of top to bottom on those shapes. A little bit longer like that. So I've got these. That was one of them. And then the other one, it looks like it's fairly similar. Sort of a selection. These are a little more consistent in size and shape than some of the other ones here. I actually quite like this size and shape. And then we've got these that are some irregular ones, which can be really, really fun in like an organic kind of a look sort of thing if you're looking for something to look like it came out of the ocean. And then we've got some more potato-y size ones. So these are a little bit bigger than these ones as far as that size goes. So I've got several different strands of pearls that I got in that sale. Never sad to get some pearls, ever. I'm just getting them back in their little baggies so I can move them off of my mat. But then they had some gemstone pendants that were part of the sale, like this one. Which one is this? This is moss agate. And it is a big boy. It's a rectangle pendant. There were variations that you could have with this pendant, but it is 55 by 32 millimeters. It is a big chunky boy, and it's really beautiful. It's got a hole drilled right in the center at the top there. You could wire wrap the whole thing. You don't even have to use the hole, and that actually might be really fun to do. But it's really pretty. You can see like a little bit of light coming through the back right here in the corner. If I block the light, yeah, there you go. So that was pendant 3707. Then they had all of these fossil coral pendants, and Jenny got some of these too, and she shared them with you. But there's so much variation in the look of these guys. I just wanted to share these. This one was 4018. 4018 is the largest one, so it's between 44 to 50 millimeters long and 23 to 34 wide. But look at the fossil coral in here. Look at these little corally guys all lined up, looking at like snowflakes. Aren't they pretty? And this is a big chunky guy too. It's got a hole drilled right in the center as well. It'd be fantastic for wire wrapping. It would be a little hard to fit a pinch bail around this, so you probably would want to do maybe a beaded bail or something with some bead weaving or wire wrapping in order to get this into part of what you're doing. Let's see, 4015, that is a squarish tab pendant. That's what it was listed as. 23 to 39 and 22 to 37 millimeter, and it's also got little snowflakey coral guys showing up in there. But we've got a really cool transition from like kind of a topazy taupe color over here to the grays on that side. That would be a really fun design, like maybe even to like carry this asymmetry of the pendant up into like a necklace design. So you could even go like half and half, so you could have like maybe the browner side on that side and then the grayer side on that side to flip it around. I don't know, I'm just spitballing, just coming up with ideas. Then the 4013, this was the one, it was a random mix pendant, and I got this really fun shape for a pendant. I love this. It's kind of a lighter color than these darker browns, and it's not as apparent that this is fossil coral, but it is, so you don't see those little snowflake designs on it. Well, not designs, the leftovers from previous guys. And then the 4014, oh, I love this one. It is an angled pendant, so it is, you could have gotten anything between a 28 to 45 millimeter, 15 to 40, so we've got those. And they could be all sorts of different colors too. This one's got a little bit narrower of a top on it. It's not quite as thick, so you might be able to get a traditional pinch bail into this one in order to turn it into a necklace. Alright, and then last but not least, and again, there were a lot more things in this order, but Jenny already shared a lot of the things. We bought similar things from these things. Were these lampwork beads, the lamp 722. Absolutely love them. I got 2 of them because they are so pretty. And they have sterling silver as their plating on the inside for these guys. But isn't that soft and romantic and just absolutely perfect? But yeah, I got 2 of these because I thought they were beautiful. I'm going to stick them in one little container so we don't have too many of those. And then they always do a little freebie. So for this order, my little freebie were these fire polish beads. It looks like we've got 5 cornflower blue and 1 crystal faceted fire polish beads. It's kind of cool to get a little set like that as my little freebie that they added to my thing. So let me grab the order that Jenny sent me, the little pendants, and I'll be right back. All right, and since I haven't opened this yet, I'm going to open it on camera with y'all, and we'll just find them as we go because I want the surprise. I don't want to open it and get it organized since I didn't pick these out. I just love a surprise, and I love that my sister was thinking about me when she saw all those pendants going for sale. She was like, I need to get some of these for Becky because I know she'll love them. And you know, there's a lot of times that I buy things for her and she doesn't always have an opportunity to buy things for me. So it was really fun that she got an opportunity to spoil me for a change. So let's see what my sister got me. And again, they always do a little freebie. So the freebie on this one looks like some antique bronze connectors. These are like filigree kind of looking. We don't have a product number on the freebies a lot of times. They might be like overstock or things that they're giving out, but they are really pretty and pretty fantastic. They would look great in like a Baroque design, I think. So those were the freebies that I got with that order. Let's look for, I love these. Oh, great. Okay, so there's one thing that starts with CZ. What starts with CZ? So pretty. Hold on. Fancy glass oval beads, matte crystal blue. Where's the, there they are. It doesn't have a CZ on it. So she got me these guys. They are these fan shapes, and look at the colors on it. It's like blue and pink, and it has purple leans on them. It's crystal blue with lilac shimmer with a shimmer coat. They are absolutely like magical. They're 100% something that you would wear when you go to meet a unicorn in the forest or something like that. Just perfect there. And then there's enamel and stainless steel flower pendant. Where is that? PNDT 48 22. That would be one of these guys, maybe. Four 822. Stainless steel flower pendant in pink and ivory ombre. Oh, I bet that's what this is. Pink and ivory ombre. It doesn't have the number on it. It does, but it's over here. Find 4822. So this is super pretty, softly romantic, and just perfect. I think this would go great with this, honestly. This is from the previous thing. Let's get this a little bit closer. I love that the enamel looks like, you know, those acrylic pour paintings where they blow the acrylic with like a wind blower or a heat gun or something to spread it out. That's what that enamel kind of reminds me of. Is that kind of a thing there? Okay. So next we've got Trumpet Flower Charms, GLS 1554, and these ones are magenta with little pearls. So I've got dangles that are already made. I could 100% do something with these. I wouldn't even have to like add extra things except for maybe these guys. I'm already piecing things together to create with in my mind while I'm doing this. But yeah, already made. I don't have to take the time to make some fiddly bits. I can just put them onto a thing. I love that. Love that. And then we've got a 7-inch strand of synthetic moonstone. That's these guys. Look how colorful they are. It is $15.64 for this one. And I love these. They're also known as mermaid glass because they reflect light like that. It's basically 2 spherical halves of a bead with some color in the middle, so it reflects. When it changes, it reflects it a little bit differently. These are really cool. I love that. I love how colorful they are. That makes me really happy. Thank you, Jenny. My sister knows me. All right, and then we've got a glass bottle pendant, dried flower orchid. I think that's this one. $53.88. How cute are these? I really hope some of y'all got some of these from the sale. So $53.88. It's got a little loop right up here at the top. I think this actually opens, so you might want to secure it with a little bit of glue before you wear it as something. Let's get this behind it. Look how beautiful that is. That's so gorgeous. $53.88. That's this one right here. And then we've got some Go-Go Teardrop pendants with dried, hold on. Go-Go Teardrop, that's this one. With the dried flower. And there are different variations for this. It's 31 by 19 and it's resin, so it's really lightweight. You could get 2 of these and make a fantastic pair of earrings, I think. Let's get some light behind that. So it already comes wrapped with a little loop right there at the top. It isn't wrapped, that's drilled down. $53.90 for that one. And then we've got a filigree framed sun and moon pendant with a 17.5-inch cord. So what's the 17? Wait, which one is it? 93? 98, 98, there it is. That's this one. So this pendant is like, it's basically a completed necklace, but you can pull this pendant off of the cord and put it into a different design if you wanted. Like maybe if you had some blue and yellow beads or maybe some gold beads or something like that. I don't think that's glass. Maybe it is. It might be acrylic. It's not super heavy. Oh, it is glass. Okay. For that filigree one. And that one was $35.98. And then we've got $35.99. These are pretty much the same as the other ones, but they've got different pictures on them. This one has a beautiful dragonfly on a blue background. It's $35.99. 3601. This is a rainbow wave is what they called this one. This one is different. It is not on a filigree. It is an oval backing. So it is metal all the way through. This one came with a chain as well. It is silver chain with a lobster clasp attached. So that one is ready to go if you wanted to make something with it. Or you could probably put it onto some cord, maybe some leather, or string it onto another design by grabbing some beads that were similar colors in here and making it just shine. That was 3601. Then we got 3602, and this is the pendant. This is the one. This one is the Northern Lights pendant. Look how beautiful that is. I am feeling like I want to use my bargain bead box and do something with this one. It's a little bit scuffed, so let's polish that up just a little bit. That glass. There we go. That's shinier. Love that. Love, love, love this. This is the pendant. The pendant. I mean, everything else is gorgeous too, but love this one. Then we've got a pendant with iridescent glass teardrops. That's this one. That is 3611. Oh gosh, look at that. It's got a little mushroom on it. And that iridescent glass. And this one also comes on a chain with a little extender chain and everything on it. It's antique silver. And that was pendant 3611. And I don't have info as to whether or not this is nickel free. I just have the information as to what color it is. So I'd have to look that up, but they might have it on the site. Or I might do some nickel testing on it. We might get to that. All right, so then we've got this one. It is 3616. And it is a glass pink galaxy globe. It's the same picture on both sides with that little galaxy. I love this so much. And it comes with an antique brass chain. It's pendant 3616. It's super pretty. I love it. And then 3618. We've got a glass printed globe pendant with a chain, which I also absolutely love. Let's see, where are we? What part of the planet is this? Because it's not the whole globe. I'm trying to figure out where we're looking at. I can't see the writing. It's too small for me. but I feel like that might be a little bit of Australia down here, parts of Asia up here, and some islands here for like Malaysia and Indonesia and all that. That's what it feels like, that part of the planet to me when I'm looking at this. Which I actually lived in Malaysia for a little while, 3618. So that is really cool, actually. We've got that. I'll have to compare that with actual maps and see if I'm right. See if I'm right on that, of where, as to where that's showing us. But look at this butterfly. I love butterflies. Love, 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 love them. This is beautiful. I love the stained glass look for these types of things. It's one of my favorite types of styles of art is stained glass art. You can do similar stained glass style things with like some ink and watercolor. Maybe we should do some of that on our channel. I think that would be a lot of fun to do that. I've been wanting to try some of that out for a little bit. And then last but not least, our last one is 3633. It is a dyed agate point pendant with silver and pink, and there are variations of these on the site. Let me get this behind so you get a better picture of the actual color. And it's got a little drill on the top for a loop and a little bail. You can remove this type of bail if you wanted to just string this along directly like that, or if you wanted to add different types of things between that and the rest of what you were adding it to. All right, so that is the order that my sister put in for me. They are lovely and beautiful, and I love them so much. Let me go grab my little order that came after Jenny's, and we'll take a look at that. All right, so this is the order that I put in after my sister had put in an order for me. I didn't know which pendants she'd gotten me when I put this order in. I just knew there were some things that I kind of wanted to grab before they sold out, just in case. And I kind of trusted that my sister would pick me some good things. There were, just a couple that were a little bit of an overlap, like these two. And so this is what I got with my little order. They also, when I put in this order, it was right when they had released the little kitty cat bundle, which we'll be opening when we open up our mini bundles. So we'll be sharing both this kitty cat bundle and the other Valentine's mini bundles that they posted last week, which we're going to be opening up on our channel. We're going to split them up between the two of us. Jenny will open up half of them and I'll open up the other half. So look forward to that, but I'm going to go ahead and save this for when we do that video. In the meantime, these are some of the things that I got for myself in that haul. One was these. Just the table cut buttons. You can never have enough buttons, and I love a good check glass table cut button. This is 6724, especially the really pretty dark red with the travertine finish on them. They are great, especially if you can get them in a pair like this. You can make some earrings with them, or you can use them as closures in your designs, or you can just integrate them into a necklace or have it just be a fun little button that you can use for things. Buttons are one of my favorite things ever, so I had to get that. That's 6724. So we got those. They are the opaque coral red, by the way, is the color on that. And then, again, there's the Cat's Meow mini bundle. I got some leatherback earring findings. These have an open loop at the bottom, and they're pretty secure. Sometimes I don't like the fishhook earrings because at certain angles, or if I'm being really active or something, sometimes they'll just go flying out of my ear. It's really weird. It's a thing with my ears, I know. But these ones have a little lever back, so they will stay put in your ears, even if you're being really, really active and doing all of that. So these, that's why I got these. Ear 310 is the one for that. So that's why I got those. And then we got some strawberry pendants, red gold. That's these guys. Okay. Look how cool these are. GLS 1553. And I love them. I had to. They're strawberries. It was important. It was absolutely important. So again, with some of the other ones, these little bails that they have on the top, you can remove them, and then you've just got a little loop that you can use for charms or things like that. They are glass. These would be super cute charms on a pendant, or maybe you could dangle them from a chain and have them as, you know, a little loop on a necklace design or something else that you could do with that. So this was a lot of these guys in this one little package. I had to. Strawberries. This is a strawberry. Then my sister did get me some of the synthetic moonstone, but I got so much more for myself over here. So let's take a look at each of these that I got. I've got 1553 for the first one. This is Crystal Deep Sky Blue. I love that this one has little pops of like aquamarine coming through. So you've got like some green glow in there from that. And then 1560, let me turn that over so I can, this is Crystal Sky Blue. So this was Deep Sky Blue and this is just Crystal Sky Blue. So let me put them next to each other so you can see that difference maybe between the two colors. So this is the Crystal Sky Blue and this is the Deep Crystal Sky Blue. I'm not seeing a ton of difference. I'm going to be real honest. Do not see it. But there was enough of a difference between them that they put them under separate categories. They could probably be strung together in the same design without anybody noticing much of anything wrong. And then we've got 1651. It's crystal green. And just like we had some little pops of green with the blue strand, we've got some little pops of blue with the green strand. And then Crystal AB, this type of one, it's like water droplets to me. It's like little magical bubbles or something like that. I love it, and I love that glow that you get from within it when it hits the light right. All right, and 1563. This one is Crystal Vitriol Silver. So it's like it's got a little bit of a rainbow inside of it. Absolutely magical. I love this. 1563. And the next one might be a little bit familiar to you because this is the same strand that my sister bought me in her one that she bought. This is 1654. We just saw it in the little package that my sister sent for me with the multiple colors. So now I have even more. I've got a second strand. Pretty excited about that, actually. So she does know me. She knew that I would enjoy this type of bead, and she was right. And then we've got these gorgeous pink ones. It's 1565 for this one. Yeah, and that one is Orchid as the color. Really beautiful. Love that. And then deep green. That's this one. So we had green over here, and then we've got deep green on this one. And this deep green looks like it's got a little bit of a vitriol on it as well. So some rainbowy colors popping through on this one. I like this one. And that's GLS 1567. It's strung a little bit on the tight side. We've got those. Okay, let's get the rest of these guys. Did I show you my freebie? We'll do that afterwards. All right, and then we've got, I had to get this little carnelian goldfish, guys. PNDT 1661. I love carnelian, first of all, and second of all, I love little goldfish. Looks like the hole goes through right there on the fish's mouth. So it goes right there on this little corner. And then we've got some little fishy heads, fishy tail. That is super cute. I love that. That would be amazing. Amazing in a design. To have these little goldfishes. Some other carnelian beads and maybe some pearls. I don't know. I think that would be pretty. And then let's see, what else do I have on here? Oh yes. Do you remember how when I was opening up my sister's one and I pulled out that go-go pendant that was resin and I said that it would make a great pair of earrings? Well, since I got another in my own order, I now have a set that I can make earrings with. Is that fun? That's $35.90. I'm gonna actually put them in the same little baggie together. So I've got one from my sister and one from me. They'll be really great. They're really lightweight, so they'll make fantastic earrings. Because I don't know about y'all, but I don't like earrings that weigh down my ears too much. It hurts after a while. And then we've got a brass and resin oval pendant. And my sister did not get me one of these. So this was me buying this for myself. I needed to have it because it's got all this glitter in here in the resin. It's so pretty, so cute. And all that iridescence. And then our really beautiful little teal flower right there in the middle of it. It's such a fun pendant. $35.94 is the pendant number. And like I said, I didn't know what pendants my sister got, so there were things that I was like, oh, I need to get one of those. And that includes the dyed agate point pendant in silver and pink. So I got myself one as well. And this one has a more solid pink color to it than the other. The other one was had some other colors mixed in with that, but they are both, in my opinion, very beautiful. PNDT 36, 33. There's variation between all of those. And then I got some magnetic clasps. So got some findings. These are toggle 619. And these are just some of those stronghold clasps. It's sometimes a good idea when they have sales and when things are like that to go ahead and get that. It's got a bump on each side so that they won't slide apart, so they'll make really good either necklace or earring clasps. So we've got these guys, and I got it in silver, and then the gold is the 618, so I got both of these. And let me show you what I got as my little freebie. I got some cubic zirconia snowflake pendants. This is find 2348. I don't know why my brain wouldn't make the number words. Okay, so I'm going to put one right side up and one upside down so you get a view of the back and the front. So these are my little freebies with that order. Again, because they do a little freebie as a thank you with every order. Alright, so let me see what I want to make with this, because I think I'm going to take a little bit from every one of these. Let's grab one of these toggles for that, and maybe these pink beads. And then, because I'm going to do a little design on the fly, toggle the pink beads, the crystal beads, the ombre crystals, and this, ooh, and my little drops. So let's start stringing some stuff. I'm gonna grab some wire and some tools. So for tools for this, I think I'm only gonna need my crimper and my flush cutters for this. Crimper, flush cutters, ooh, and some chain nose pliers because I'm going to need to attach my clasp. So I've got my tools. I'm going to use this pink tourmaline color beading wire because we're going with pinks. And we've got this pendant that my sister got for me, Find 4822. And this was from the order that she gave me. We've also got the glass 1554, and this was from the order that she gave me. And I just spilled them all over. Hold on. Whew, okay, I picked them up. So we got those, and then I'm going to use one of those strands of the graduated, not graduated, the ombre color, Crystal 5111. Use one of these strands with that. The mermaid glass, the man-made moonstone, 1563 in the orchid color. So, I love it. It's going to be so pretty. And let's grab one of these clasps out of all the other ones that I got. I got a few of them because they were at a really good price. And I'm going to probably need some crimps, but I'll grab those when we get to that point. And in the meantime, let's lay out these beads and see if we can't get a little bit of a thing going with it. So let me see where we're at with these. I'm gonna start with these guys at that end. Okay, let's lay them out. Open up the strands. So I'm going to start with this down here, and I'm going to need a little jump ring so that it'll attach to my guy. Put a couple of these next to it, and then one of these guys. I'm going to use these sort of as spacers, but not quite. And then we'll do a couple of those, and in between them, we'll hang this so that we can have some flower dangles on her little necklace that I'm about to make. Yep. And then we'll gradually go up the strand we'll start with the pinks and then move up towards the yellows as I get close to the end. How about that? Question is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I think 4 is what I want to do there, and then we can save these for a couple of earrings. I'm going to set those aside. Put a few of these guys on here for earrings. There we go. And I'm going to want to make sure that these have an equal amount of beads on each side for one side and the other, because it's not going to be a what is it called? Yeah, it's not going to be a an asymmetrical necklace, so could be. No. Sorry. So 2 pinks there. 2 pinks there, 2 pinks there, 2 pinks there. This is the design part, and then we'll start stringing. And it's entirely possible that I may decide I want to go a different direction with these. And so since these will take up a little bit of space, I'm going to do 3 of these in between each of these as we go up along the sides. Two, 1, 2, 3, 3. So these are kind of lighter pink now that we're getting into. Alright, let's divide these a little bit more evenly. So pink, pink, mid, mid, and then yellow, yellow. So pink, mid, yellow. I just want to make sure that the transition is going to be equitable between the two as we proceed up. So now we're into the yellow strands, the yellow end of the strand. So these will go along like that. And just adding a little bit of extra up here, just so that when I get to that point, if I need to add more, I can. And I still have this whole strand that I can utilize for that. All right, I'm going to start from the middle and work my way out. Let's grab a couple of jump rings because I'm going to need 3 of them. The reason I start from the middle and work my way out is because I'm not quite sure how long I want this to be. I'm also not quite sure I want to do it with just these colors or if I want to add maybe some gold seed beads in there. We'll see. We'll see where we end up with. But also I'm going to need to locate some crimson just a little bit, which I have. I just am not quite sure where I put them, but I can find them. So I just need to get to that point. So let's start stringing after I add this jump ring. Alright, so I've got my chain nose pliers, and I'm going to use this as a second set of pliers. This is my crimper, but it's got a nice flat bit right there that I can hold the end of my jump ring with. I'm just going to add this to the pendant. This is going to be such a pretty little, and I need those ends to actually come together. They are not meeting up right. You can see that. Sometimes it feels like they are, and then you let go and they like spring back. There we go. That is nice and closed. Alright. I'm going to start stringing from this end. See how long it gets. Oh, I needed to add some pink guys in the middle there. So let me grab, hold on. Actually, let's do some yellow guys in the middle there. Just a couple of them. Just to, or not, or I could just shift everything over. Okay. Yeah, let's just shift everything over. All right. Yeah, I forgot to put some of the little crystals in the middle there. So These two can go like this, like that. And we'll put this one on here. And then move these guys down here. So just shifting everybody off to the next bit. Oh. Yeah, that'll work. And then move these guys down in a minute. There we go. Two more down there. These two down here. That one. Those two. All right, all right, all right. That'll get it going right. All right. And of course, I am going to disrupt everything by moving things over here. Of course. All right. This one, and then this one. All right. Yes. Perfect. So yeah, I am definitely doing this design using beads from every single one of my orders. Beads and findings. From the ones that I ordered for myself and from the ones that my sister ordered for me. And they will all work together, I feel. I'm wondering, though, if I should be using some little gold spacers amongst these. Like either gold spacers or maybe just some of my little favorite gold seed beads. That's not the right gold. Is that a good gold for that? I think so. That's too dark. There's some good golds in that. Let me grab those. Yes, you can get seed beads in all sorts of different colors. Different golds for different purposes. So I'm just gonna restring this and see if I like it better with the, and this one has either silver lined gold or regular gold, so let's just pick up the regular gold. These are 11O seed beads, by the way. Bum. Because I think, there you go, I'm just doing two of them in a row there. I think just popping them in between, on either side of the like that. I think that's gonna make me feel a little more like everything's coming together aesthetically. And I'm not going to use them between these beads because we've already got a little pop of gold between them right there. but we might do that when we get a little bit further up the chain. Or the strand, I should say. And if you want to jump ahead at any point, you are more than welcome to. You don't have to hang out with me while I'm stringing, but enough of my friends enjoy spending time with me while I'm doing my stringing. And also, you know, the initial design has been changing as I go. I do like that a little bit more, to have the little pop of gold in there with it. That pleases me. The end of my strand keeps catching on this though, so I'm going to move it out of the way. I tend to place my tools over here on my right side, and then because my hand keeps moving doing things, it gets caught there. And it's so weird because it's like, I wish I could just not have it do that, but also have my tool like right there next to my right hand where I want to grab it, so I don't have to reach across for it. But it gets in the way when I'm stringing, it gets in the way when I'm doing bead weaving, but then it's always right where I drop it. It's just right there. By instinct, not even by habit, just by instinct. I'm like, it needs to be right there. Does that happen to you guys? I bet it does. It feels like the kind of thing that just people will do because they're people. Alright, so this will be my 4th dangle. So it'll go like that. And then after that it's going to be just stringing for the rest of it. But I think here I might just add a, I did a seed bead there instead of my thing. Just going to add a seed bead in between each of the beads going forward, so that they're a little more distinct from each other. And again, because I have a little gold pop from the dangle, I didn't need to put that in between them right here. But now I'll go through and add all of these guys. And because I shifted things down a little bit, it's already starting to, not you, to get a little bit clearer, so it's more pink and then less pink as it goes there. We're going to transition up into the more ombre part pretty soon, to the yellows after this next section. And this is going to need to keep going for a little bit, I think. Just trying to move these guys down a little bit more, because I'm going to need to pull off some more beads for extending this. Just a minute. so that it goes all the way around. Where's my yellow guys? A little bit more there, a little bit more there. All right. Sometimes I go to pick up a bead and it pops on there and then it falls off right before I go to the other one. And then I don't notice until I am all done stringing. And somebody makes a little comment and I'm like, I could have sworn. Nope. And sometimes I just forget altogether to do it. So we have transitioned to the yellows. And it is such a bright yellow. Not a bright, but a light and cherry yellow. Love that. Because yeah, that was one of my favorite things that I got in my order was this stuff. All right, one more here. And I'm just going to check the length real quick. Pretty sure I'm going to need to add a little bit more on here. But I like a shorter necklace, so having it be, yeah, I think one more repeat should do. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some beads off of the other end of this ombre strand where it's a little more yellow, just because I want to use some of these for the earring that I want to make. Because yeah, I'm going to do a necklace and earrings in this. How about that? I think that'll be fun. So I'm going to need another one of these guys for the other side. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. I can do a couple more like that for the earring bits that I'm going to do. All right. Come on, seed bead, get onto my, there we go. Okay, let's check that length, and I think that's going to be actually the perfect length right there for me to end with. So I'm going to put a little bead stopper on here. And going to cut about the same length of wire on the other side so that I can string up the other end. I'm snipping it at an angle because it makes it easier to pick up seed beads that way. I also realized that here at the beginning, I probably will want to put a little seed bead between these two guys. So I'm going to pull off this one, pick up a seed bead, Put that one back on. Put on my pendant. Right there. And then start going up this side with one of these. And a seed bead. One of these. Hey, what you doing? Where'd your hole go? Hold still. There we go. Or not. One way or another, you are getting on this strand. Friend, there you go. This is the way. Alright, so I'm going to be basically just stringing exactly the same way I did this on the rest of this. I'm going to go ahead and jump forward a little bit so that you can get to it once that's done, and also because it's probably going to take me a little bit of time to find my crimps. So we'll fast forward a little bit and you can join me once I've found my crimps and once this is strung. Alright, so I finished stringing the other side of this necklace. It is still exactly and perfectly the right length. Found my crimps. I'm using 2x2 crimp tubes. They work with my magical crimper, which is my favorite way of crimping. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out 4 crimps, 2 for my necklace and 2 for some earrings, so that we can have that done. And this is my magical crimper. I love to use it for crimping my beads on here. So I also sorted out my earring beads as well. I put those ombre colors in the order that I want them to be. And I'll show that to you when we get to it. But I'm just going to bend my wire back through my crimp like that so that it makes a little loop. And we're going to squeeze the crimp with the magical crimper. You want to make sure that it is centered in that little indentation. Turn it at a 90-degree angle. And then at various other angles, just going around until you have squoze in it from every side you can possibly get it to. You want to open it, turn it, then close it when you do that. Don't try to turn it while it's still closed. And that smooths down all those edges and leaves you with a nice little ball of crimp. It is very secure. That's my little tug test for you. And I generally don't use, for this wire, I generally don't use a wire guardian because it is a very high quality wire. It doesn't need it. It's going to maintain that shape, and it takes a lot to wear through that coating. So that's why I generally don't use a wire guardian with that. Also because a lot of times like a wire guardian has kind of like sharp edges, and I don't like sharp edges of things rubbing against my skin. They can be fairly uncomfortable to me, and minimizing the types of things that I have to add to the ends of my jewelry, that makes it more comfortable to wear. So that if it's just that, I also, because it makes a nice smooth round ball of crimp, it means that I don't have to put a crimp cover on there. I just want to make sure that this isn't going to be too stiff. No, it looks like that's going to be just fine. Alright, so when you've got this here, I like to just do a little wiggle with my fingernail to make sure that there's a small amount of space between the bead next to it and my crimp, so that when I get it in there, I'm crimping just the bead and not my, or just the crimp and not my bead, because you don't want to smush your beads. They do not hold up well to crimping. I know from experience they will break. Especially little seed beads. You want to use a crimp that's been made for crimping. But like right next to it, it looks like a little seed bead, doesn't it? Alright, so now that I've got these two all done, let me grab my chain nose pliers and these jump rings and attach a clasp. So I'm going to put on one end of this clasp, and it's going to try to attach itself to all of my tools, and the steel wire that this is strung on. It is a magnetic clasp. It helps if you open the jump ring first, Becky. Do it in the right order. Open it and then try to string it on. There we go. And now that necklace is finished, let's grab some more of the wire that I'm using. I'm going to do one earring with you, and then the other one I will do off camera. But where did I do with my wire? It was right here. There it is. Alright, so I'm just going to use a little bit of this wire, not even a lot of it, and I think that should be enough. That's about 4.5 inches, something like that. I don't think it's too much wire, but I've got these beads laid out. So we've got the pink first, and it's pretty light, so you can't see it very clearly. Then it goes up to the clear ones, and then I've got my little mermaid glass that's going to be halfway through, and then 3 more of these, transitioning into the yellow up near the top, and then we're going to have our little dangle right in the middle. So I'm going to hold on to one end, or I can just put a bead stopper on that end. Why don't I do that? I'll just put a bead stopper on that and pick up a bead. I'm going to pop a 11/0 seed bead in between each of these like I did on the necklace, because this is going to be earrings to go with my necklace. And we'll string these guys along. And we're just going to make a little loop with a dangle at the bottom. That's all we're doing. And then we'll have a loop up at the top that the ear wire can go through. Oop. But yeah, I went ahead and put these in order when I was looking for my crimps. And I'm not putting a seed bead next to this, it's just going to hang out next to that bead, and no seed bead there, like that. But now we're going to start back up with the seed beads in between each bead. They're just the same solid color gold seed beads from this mix that I'm picking out because it was a good gold to go with the rest of the metals that I was working with. It's good to have a variety of gold seed beads because they do come in different colors. Because sometimes you'll get gold findings that are very yellowy gold, and you'll find other ones that are like a light ambery gold, and you know, or antique gold. So having a seed bead selection that you can choose from. I'm just gonna put this behind here so you can see the pink graduation on that. I love that. Alright, now this is going to be the fun and fancy part of making this. I'm going to take my crimp and I'm going to put both ends of my wire through the crimp like this, and one end can be and should be longer than the other. But we do want them to be right next to, oop, I was going to leave off the seed bead next to here. Since the seed bead ends up being about the same, or since the crimp ends up being about the same size as one of the seed beads, I was going to leave it off. And I forgot to do that when I added my last seed bead. There we go. So no seed bead at the top, just between each of them. All right, so now we've got these guys on here. One of them can be longer than the other. Doesn't super matter, but once we've got both of these pulled through, I'm going to take one of them, the longer one, or, you know, just whichever one you've got. I'm going to put it back through my crimp, like this. And it is catching on some of the beads. I might need to readjust this in just a minute. There we go. Now I've got that coming through here. We can tighten up all the loops. And I can make sure that I leave a loop up here at the top to put an ear wire through. All right. So now I'm going to do a crimp on here, the same way that I crimped the necklace. This is another good reason to use a colored wire because it's going to be part of the design. It's just sticking up here with that pink color. Like this. I'm going to grab an ear wire real quick. Alright, so we've got an ear wire. And these were they're actually some nickel-free ones that I got from Bead Box Bargains. I do like to make my own a lot of times, but sometimes you just want the simplicity and ease of having some ear wires. And I know Jenny likes to hook it on here so you can see how it hangs. But there we go. So that's the earring that will go with this beautiful necklace. We have a playlist that has a bunch of things that we make with Bargain Bead Box and Bead Box Bargains. If you missed Jenny's haul video, I will link to that in the description below. We'll also have a link to Bead Box Bargains if you want to check out some of the great deals that they have on there. And if you like what you see, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And until next time, my friends, happy beading!